nervous.
Hello! Hi everybody, welcome to our later edition of our Tuesday lunch chat. Thank you for joining us at the later time. I had an earlier commitment that went up until 12 o'clock, so couldn't quite commit to making it here at 12 and getting all of our ducks in a row for this special presentation.
I think I added several extra ducks.
She has a whole squad of ducks.
That's right, I do.
So I'm sure y'all know who I'm with here, but this is Ingrid. This is your fearless leader of the Gettin Shifty KAL that is going to get started here in the coming weeks. And we are going to talk about all things shifty night along.
Right.
Yes.
Yes.
So if you don't know what I'm talking about, then go ahead and check out our blog post, both this week's and last week's. Last week's has all the nitty gritty for the knit along, including the 4 patterns we're covering, links to those patterns, and then all of the different kind of recommended yarns. And then this week's post talks a little bit more about what we're gonna make, what I'm gonna make, what I have made, and then also has some yarn pairings for inspiration. But that's also what we're gonna do. We are literally buried in yarn right here. So hello. Julia, thank you so much for popping those links. And if you're looking for the blog post, Julia just shared those in the comments.
And really, it is your best resource guide to have everything in one spot. You did an awesome job.
I didn't write it.
Julia, was that Miss Julia?
Julia, you did an awesome job.
Julia, you rock.
She was probably holding her breath there for a second, like, is Sarah gonna just say thank you?
Julia rocks, we roll.
Yes, that is actually very good. Yes. Julia rocks to allow us to roll.
That's right. That's right.
So, sorry, I don't get to do this with anybody. I'm like, a little bit pumped up, maybe.
I'm not at all. I'm perfectly calm.
You are?
Like mellow.
Yes, me too. So mellow. So, okay, we thought that basically we would, yes, I'm sorry. Kim just said everybody needs a Julia.
Oh, that's true.
I have needed a Julia all my life.
Yes.
But I am such a better person with a Julia. With that Julia particularly. So yeah, shucks. So we thought we would go through the 4 different patterns that you can choose from to participate in our knit along. And then also, just to reiterate, go to that blog post and sign up. You'll get all the Zoom links so that you can hop in. You'll also get a coupon code, which will get you 10% off the yarns that we are going to show you today. So should we start with the hat? Okay, that's smallest?
Sure.
Okay, hat. All right, first one, shift along, right?
Yes.
Yes. It is the hat version of the shift family. And basically the shift, if you can't tell, that what it has in common is slipping stitches. It's a form of mosaic knitting. It is easy peasy.
Yes.
And the patterns are well written, so everyone can do this. Here is the hat that Jill did. And
you look adorable in every hat you put on.
I do like wearing hats.
I get very jealous of that.
I didn't like wearing hats when I had short hair, though.
Oh, yeah. That might be it.
So, a lot of these, 3 of the 4 we're going to talk about, they call for sport weight yarn generally, but the gauges also allow you to use a lot of fingering weight yarns. So we have a mix here. For all of the patterns that call for sport, we're showing you both fingering and sport weight options. And I grabbed an option because we don't have the yarn that Jill used on our sample anymore, but I found something that would work really well too. So this is the yarn Jill used for the main color, just good old Ultra Wool Fine. So it's a lovely washable wool, comes in a wide range of colors. But how beautiful would that be with this knitted wit herstory sock in Truth Teller? Yes. So here, get my hand out of the way. Look at the color in that. Wouldn't that be really beautiful? Basically, all these little pops, these little dots of slipped stitches, that's where these colors would pop out against the light gray. So lots of really great options. And if you're not sure about jumping into shifting, a hat is a great way, right? It's,
definitely.
It's like
I'd
small.
start with the hat or the cowl.
Small and portable.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, what a perfect segue. Should we talk about the cowl?
We'll go small to big.
All right, Ingrid, take us away.
All right, I am wearing the cowl, the shift, and it is actually knit flat and then seamed. So,
so
the seam
beautiful
is actually in the back, right there. So I know that even when I was putting my colors together, And as I was knitting, I kind of was like, really, is this really going to look like it looks on her? You know, like, I'm not sure. And actually, in the end, I really think it came out better than anything. But I had, this was all stashed, and I had Entropy and Millefiori Light Luxe, and then I had Old Andorra, and I'm not even sure what else. Honestly, there's ones in here, I don't even know.
Mystery yarn.
Yeah. But if I were to pick from the current Entropy and Millefiori Light Luxe, I would probably be doing these just for something loud and bright and fun.
Yes.
Of course, I did already pick out 3 other things and put them back, and then came back to this. And then I would probably look in my stash for things that are more solid colors or tonal hues, so that not everything was variegated, but that it's enough to keep it fun and happy.
For sure, right.
It's also at the sport gauge.
Yes, yes. Okay, so we have a million gazillion. Oh, so also Ingrid's cowl is how I got roped into this. She twisted my arm, she held me down, she said, you have to do this.
Which means I walked into the store.
She walked in and I was like, ah! So I wanted to, because I saw her Millefiori Light Luxe, and I know it's hard on video to see sparkle, doesn't come through super well, but if you were here and could see it in person like I can, you would also fall in love. And it is subtle. I'm not a sparkle girl. I'm really not. And so I promise you when I tell you, it's a subtle effect, and it's just eye-catching. It's just beautiful. So I grabbed this skein of the Millefiori Light Luxe. It's a little washed out from the light because we're right by a window. It's a little darker than it's showing on camera. And then I thought, I bet I don't have anything that'll go with this. And I don't know if this will work, but I had all of these.
Including the bag that completely matches.
Including the Cardi Bell. So I found a ton of stuff. I know it's not quite as exciting when you find everything in your stash except for one skein, because really the fun is buying yarn. But if you too were looking for something to go with color number, 8837 of the Millefiori. So Suro Tiger's Eye, that's what's in my hand right here. That is a yarn that we have. Amble in, oh shoot. It's not Chalk Cliffs, it's the light beigey one. And I've got some Tosh Merino Light. So you can see here, I'm also going to be mixing up Smooshy, Dream in Color Smooshy with Cashmere. I'm going to be mixing fingering and sports in this project. So I'm not worried about it at all. As Ingrid showed, she's got Entropy, she's got Millefiori Light Luxe, she's got other sport weights, like it all works together. So should we show more pairings for the cowl? Let's see. Okay. What did I grab? Oh, whoa, I almost forgot. What did I say? Don't let me forget. You would have remembered because you have an option there. Yeah. So we have a brand new yarn here. This is Cobblestone from Fibra Natura. And it's really got that really cool hand spun look to it. It's going to subtly stripe. And it's very similar to that other yarn that Andrea designs with all the time that's in her pattern. Spin Cycle. And so you can get some really great combos going for this shawl. Like right here, I've got Cobblestone in Mardi Gras, and I have Malabrigo Andorra, Arroyo in Glitter, and Malabrigo Sussurro in Dewberry. And I love that combo right there. So this yarn is crazy. It is 100% superwash merino. It's beautiful and soft. It's $30, and you get a whopping 612 yards. So much yardage. It's 2 full skeins because it's 200 grams. So check out Cobblestone if you're looking for like a base of something that's like a color changing yarn to use throughout. Okay, let's see. Is this another,
If you want to keep going, I tend to pick out 2 variegates and put them together.
I love it.
I'm a little more wild and a little less solid. I don't know. But
I'm a little less.
This is a one-of-a-kind, Mad Tosh one-of-a-kind, and then this is the Cobblestone, which I have picked out combinations for every Cobblestone option. Yes.
If you needed a semi-solid to go with both of those.
Yes.
This is Arroyo in Regatta Blue. Do check out those Madeline Tosh one-of-a-kinds. We've got 4 unicorns. They're listed with the regular Tosh Merino Light. They're great pop colors for your contrast color. Oh, Julia, sorry, I said the wrong price for Cobblestone. It's $34.
I'm thinking.
There you go. Oh!
And then just pick out like a yellow or a green.
Or even if you threw in some of those neon yellow, like Edison bulb unicorn tails.
Yes.
Mm.
Oh, I love me some unicorn tails.
Awesome. Okay, so those are some really good shawl options. Wait, let me just...
No, those are still cowl options. Yes. No.
Margot thinks every time I say Amble, I'm saying Campbell. That makes sense. I do say Campbell a lot. Entropy is non-superwash. You're correct. Thank you, Heidi. For those of you looking for non-superwash, Entropy is a fantastic option in the and so is oh no wait, Amble's got superwash in it. Sorry, Linares Tiaras. That's one I forgot to bring over. That is another beautiful hand-dyed non-superwash option. I was just trying to see if there was any questions so far. Maybe we can only, Julia, we only get to see the two most recent comments. So if we've missed a question that's really important, if you add it back or something, I was going to say wave at us. That doesn't work.
Shout at us. Oh wait, we can't hear you.
Oh yeah, well stock light is non-superwash, right. Okay, what should we do next?
Do you want to do shawl or sweater?
All right, let's do the shawl.
Okay.
Okay, second shawl option. If you don't want to do sport weight / fingering weight, or if you've got some choice stash in the worsted range, or you just want it to be done faster, which is valid, then there is night shift. This is option number 3 for patterns to make. And Ingrid's got some really lovely pairings.
So I, again, am sticking with to mix it up and a little solid. I believe you need probably about 900 yards for the shawl, or somewhere close to that. So, and I think you probably are even at 4 colors. Of course, you could make as many as you want. Really, for any of these, you could do as many as you want. You don't have to stick to 3 or 4, but loving the Noro. I can't say the name of it.
It's supposed to be Cleopatra, so
yes.
Cleopatra.
Okay.
So this is a non-superwash right here, this Noro color changing Cleopatra.
So many good options. And then tiramisu, hello.
So, also non-superwash?
Yeah, if you like the Millefiori Light Luxe, you like that idea of mixing together with a sport weight, but you're making the shawl at a heavier weight, this would be great. There's no sparkle in it, but it's got that loft that just makes you want to hug it
and
all
color
the time.
changing too, yeah.
And then if you're looking for solids, again, ultra wool just kind of always is there. So
gorgeous.
This would be my choice if I was whipping out a shawl.
I grabbed a few options too in the worsted arena, and I didn't necessarily put them all together, meaning to put them together for the shawl, but I did kind of stick to a color family here. So some options, especially if you want to get away from wools. Summer Sesame is a gorgeous color changing option that you could use in the worsted weight range for the night shift. Somebody asked if we had the night shift. We don't. We don't have a sample of that. We should. We used to. Yvonne from Lavender Sheep gave us a sample that was done in her yarn, but we don't have that yarn anymore, and so the sample went back home to Yvonne. So I'm sorry that we don't have a night shift to show you right now. But we just got this Entropy in, and Entropy is really cool because it kind of goes both ways. Yes. Oh, we love people that go both ways.
Yes.
So Entropy can go up or down, and here it would pair really well. Look at this color. It's called Symbiosis, this color right here. You could pair that up with Vintage if you wanted to splurge on a special skein of Entropy because the price point's a little higher, or even like with this Dreamin' color in Galaxy. This is Classy here, right here. And that's Galaxy. So lots of really beautiful hand-dyed, color-changing options. You got options in everything. And then also, if you want another non-superwash option, we've got this color here of Tayo. So this is a cotton silk, tiny bit of wool, and it's non-superwash. But that's going to give you that fun color-changing effect. And of course, you can never go wrong. It just made yarn fall down. You can never go wrong with Malabrigo Rios. Oh, look how well that matches. Aww. So you could use Rios in a night shift and pair it up against a contrasting semi-solid and just have it run with the whole thing. Yeah. So lots of great options there. Did we cover?
You know, it makes me want to jump up and go get more classy.
Oh,
because the Entropy skein I have that's like turquoisey light blue and a cream color. Oh, there's a Dream, there's a Classy that's also, it's like tonal blue that would just take off with it.
Yep, I'm looking at it right now.
I could be here for days and days and days.
Okay, so we'll shift on to Shifty.
We're really getting shifty now.
Are we? Okay, so I am wearing Shifty, and to all of you who are about to embark knitting it, the great news is that Andrea just released an update that fine-tunes the yoke shaping, etc. So it will probably fit you even better than mine fits me, which is just fine. And so I did use a lot of scrap yarns for my Shifty, but we have, there we go. We have some great options to, if you wanted to replicate how mine looks. So what basically I did is I had 2 nearly full skeins in my stash. One was, or they were Malarigo, no. Woo, too many words.
Too many yarns. Wait, no, that's not possible.
They were Tosh Merino Light, and they were basically like this. They were a purple and a blue. So in my hand right here is Lanera Secretos, which is a gorgeous, gorgeous hand-dyed merino. And then this over here is Tosh Merino Light in the Feels and Arctic. So either if you wanted to replicate this look, you could get these, and they are my main color, like i.e. my background color throughout my whole project. So then from there, I started adding in other bright poppy yarns, and they didn't all necessarily like you wouldn't have put them next to each other alone, but in the whole mix, especially against the backdrop of the blue and the purple, they worked really great. And this this unicorn, this Tosh One of a Kind number 4, this is actually very similar to one of the yarns that I used, where you can see that pop of neon yellow that's right in here. This would work well. This one would work well. I mean, this one, actually, this is also very similar to one of the yarns that I used, where you can see, I don't know how well it comes through, but there's like some turquoise and orange. So this is as wild and different as the contrast colors that I did use with mine. And it works because that's the beauty of it. It all blends overall. So I guess in terms of following the pattern, I didn't just have the prescribed number of yarns that she called for, but I did just designate my yarns, background yarns and contrast yarns, if that makes sense.
Which is how the chart and pattern is written. So if it's like divided into sections, and then it'll say maybe color A, color B, but you can tell then by it's written which is being used as your main color, if you will, and which is being used as your contrast color in that section.
Yeah.
So then really it's up to you of whatever you want to,
whatever order you want to put your yarns in. So do you have any Shifty? Here, I can take that out of your lap.
Well, and I already dropped some.
There's so much yarn over here.
I'm making Shifty now.
Oh, that is
what I'm
right.
making.
That's right. That's
so
what Ingrid's making.
We're kind of swapping places, right? We've each made these, and now we're making the other. So I take screenshots of yarns from the store all day long on my phone, my iPad, my computer, and then I mix them together in a little app that's called Layout, and so that I can put them all together and kind of get an idea. Then of course I come into the store and then I'm like, oh no, I like this and this too. But which is what happened last week exactly, is I came in with a picture of exactly what I thought I wanted my sweater to be, and then took pictures and gathered so many other things, and then still went home with something different.
She pivoted.
Yes. Pivot. But I didn't love this so much, like in the pictures. Out of all the cobblestone, there's other things I would have gravitated towards, but I got in shop and picked it out. Then wanted to put this. This is Work Sock Malabrigo, or Madeline Tosh.
See, it's hard.
Yeah, oh it is, yes. With it. And then this is Danina. Hello. And then I brought in a bag full of some of my stash, and I had like a cream in my stash. So I thought that. But what I love too is, so maybe here, let's I mean, look at that. And in the sweater, color A is what she has written as like what you need the most yardage of. So I kind of went from 2 thoughts of like, so is A a solid, and then B, C, and D, or however many other things I want to use, all variegated, or do I want all variegated and then to stick in some solids? So at one point I was even plotting, like, I don't know if I brought over the right, I think maybe this one.
Yes.
I'm not sure.
Yes.
That these were similar enough in their colors that I could use this as all color A and just decide when I wanted a little bit of luxe, a little bit of the sparkle, and when I just wanted non-sparkle, and have this always be my color A, and then B, C's, and D's be more solid or tonal things
to go
like
to top
this,
off. Yes.
that you would then
throw in,
stick in with it.
And that creates the little dots. That's what we're seeing here, is there pearl bumps on the wrong side. Right side.
But I am going to be using amble is my background for my sweater, so
it's gonna feel amazing.
This is where I went completely different than anything I had looked at. I hadn't taken any screenshots of this, but Julia did mention it, so maybe I'll just blame Julia for this too.
Yes.
And then I had, this is like
it's at least 3 years old. That's I think what we're thinking.
In my stash, and so then this happened, and then more stash happened, and more stash. But this is going to be my color A, and I cannot wait.
Yeah, I feel like we could put combos together for these things all day long. Yes. I mean, I'm inspired enough, like watching everyone pick out shifties. Jill is also going to make a shifty. That's the sweater. That now I'm like, well, maybe I should make another shifty. I think you should. Let's make sweaters together. As I said in my blog post this week, I said it takes a whiff of a suggestion and I'm casting on, even if it's myself suggesting it to myself.
I think that means you're a good friend to yourself.
Oh,
I do.
I love that.
I think that's what that means.
Julia says it's been marinating for just the proper amount of time in your stash.
Ooh.
So that is a lovely way to think about it.
Yes.
Yes, not that it was long forgotten or buried or whatever.
Assigned to 4 other projects.
Right. It was marinating.
It was waiting.
Yes.
Patiently.
Well, let's see. Do you guys have any questions? Jill says, I think you should because you can.
That's right. That's right. And I'm sure you have all the time in the world to knit both the shift and a shifty.
I should make all 4. I should as a personal challenge. Oh man. Okay, that would be insane. Does anyone have any questions about like the patterns or joining along or
We'll have 5 Zoom sessions. The Knit Along will have 5 Zoom sessions.
Why don't you tell a bit about that, like just the format.
I'm not going to have all the dates off my head, but again, if you follow the blog post or the links, you'll have all the information. But we're going to do 5 different Zoom sessions for our Knit Along. So the first one will again talk about color, but also how we want to mix the colors. If you're throwing in 10 colors and so then you're like, well, it calls for 3, what am I going to do? We'll just talk through some of that, casting on. And as anybody who knows me knows, I'm going to tell you that if you are knitting the sweater or the hat, swatch. Because when you're slipping stitches or doing mosaic color work, your gauge will not be the same as stockinette or even knit purl. Even if you tried to make a rib to duplicate it, it won't be the same. So we'll talk swatching, swatching in the round, because both those things are. Whereas these accessories, you know, I did not swatch before I did this. It was knit flat, and I already knew I was mixing weights and things. And casting on will be the first one. So
you don't have to come with anything done or started or anything, even if you haven't gauge swatched yet. That's fine.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so then is it every 2 weeks?
Almost. We'll go 1 week right after that, because if you are just waiting for the first Zoom to kind of get started and decide your colors and swatching, then the next week will be kind of our first go. Then we go 2 weeks after that.
Perfect. I saw someone threw up a question that said that they hopped in late. Did I say you can mix sport and fingering? And I did, yes. So for the shift along, the shifty, and the shift, those are the 3 short sport weight is what is listed, but the gauges actually reflect. I should just call it. I think we're good. The gauges reflect that you can use both, and this is all fingering throughout in my sweater here, and worked out just fine. I was able to achieve gauge. I did swatch. I found out what needle I needed to use so that I could get the called for gauge. So yes, the answer to that is yes. And the Zooms will be recorded. If you have signed up and are on our list to get the Zoom links, then you will also be getting the Zoom replays afterwards. So thanks. That's a good question, Jeanette. Yes, the Zoom meetings will be recorded.
All the shenanigans will be caught.
All of it. All of it. Any other questions? I'm trying to think if we missed anything else. Again, you get a coupon code. If you sign up, it comes in the confirmation email. Oh, Joanne, yes, I did say Entropy can work, and we just got restocked on like 12 colors of Entropy. Let me just hold this up one more time. This is new. This is Symbiosis. What color is that one? Flashpoint. Gorgeous.
I think this one's over here.
So Entropy is a funny little yarn, and it can kind of be a chameleon in your gauge. So Ingrid threw Entropy in her shift sport weight version, but we've also seen Entropy knit up to like 4 3/4, 5 stitches to the inch and blend with worsted weight yarns, especially light worsted weight yarns. So you can actually make it play both ways if you want to make the heavier weight project or the lighter weight project. And yes, we have Entropy, and we just got restocked. I think we got 12 new colors, and we have our limited edition Good Vibes color too, which is called Road Trip and was dyed specially for the Good Vibes Yarn Tour, but is available to anyone who would like a special skein.
And then thoughts on those things are just of whether you're looking for non-superwash or superwash, the other consideration, or if you're mixing them together and you plan on sticking something in the wash.
Yes, do watch for the care instructions. And I know that several of you are always keen to find non-superwash yarns, and so there is a mix of those available at all of the weights, which is really nice. I wish I had brought over some Linares Tiaras. All I brought was the Secretos, and Tiaras is such an absolutely gorgeous yarn. I am knitting a sweater out of it right now, and the fact that you can get a hand-dyed non-superwash these days it's a pretty rare thing. So it's really beautiful for those of you. Yes, Heidi, that's right. So Heidi used Entropy in her soundtrack sweater along with Cascade 220, which is a classic worsted weight yarn. So that just goes to show it can hop all over the board. I love yarns like that.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, let's see if I can see anything else. Julia didn't put any other questions that I could see. Yes, we are a bunch of enablers, Lee. You are correct. Okay, I think that's it. Unless you guys have any other questions, you have plenty of time to still order yarn, and you know we like to ship things out pretty quick around here.
And I think the 18th. Julia, hopefully you
can
correct me if I'm wrong, but the 18th is the first one, and again, that's still just talking colors, swatching, and casting on. So you do have time to order your yarn and get it shipped to you.
Why is it so hard to talk? Oh, this is a good question. Ease and shifty, up or down if you're a tweener. Okay, so I am wearing my shifty right now with pretty much 0 ease, and I'll stand up, although that's a lot of boob right there. It is definitely fitting me with 0 ease. And so if you like that, that's the recommended fit, then you would follow that instruction. And if you're in between, I would probably, so the notes on the pattern say to go down. I would take that and put your own twist on it. And one, I would consider like, how in between are you? Do you lean one way or the other? And then B, in general, are you a fitted or a more ease person? And then make the choice that way, because it says plus or minus 2, but in the pattern notes it actually says that her testers have found to knit right to bust size with 0. So take that for what you will. You can tell. Ingrid will tell you a little bit about her choice.
Yeah, because it's yoke shape, it's not raglan, so it's not like you can pick out, oh, here's the sleeve set, so I'll increase or decrease sleeves, and I want more in my bust, you know. But Andrea has talked about the reason she came out with Shifty 2.0 is to have a better fit in the yoke up here. So instead of having it like, you know, come across, right, that it's actually fitted up to your shoulders. So another thought when you're deciding whether you like ease or not is also, do you have smaller shoulders, larger shoulders? Because if you have smaller shoulders, the yoke right now is probably really fit to go closest to your bust size. And so my bust is about 38 and a half inches, and I am going to knit the size 38. I am not one who usually wears my sweaters fitted. I tend to wear anywhere from 2 to 4 inches of ease is pretty much my standard, but I'm going to go with that because that's a recommendation, and I do have smaller shoulders, and I want the yoke to fit nice. I don't want bulk up here.
Yes.
And then if I decide that I want to add more, I'm going to figure out at the underarms where and how to add it so that it hangs down from there. But as far as the yoke, and you can also measure your own yoke depth, and if you've purchased the pattern and you're looking at the sizes, you can take that into consideration too. So your yoke depth being like from your collarbone essentially to your underarm, and let that, you know, help decide you too.
Help make the decision. Yeah. I made the 42, and if I made this again, I would probably still go for the 42 and not go up a size. But I probably would make it longer, just because I have one now that's the cropped length to wear everything, and then a longer one would work better, like with jeans and stuff, for me. Yeah, great question. All right. Well, no more questions.
This has been so fun.
It has been a lot of fun. It's nice to have somebody else here. All right, everybody. Then thank you so much for tuning in today, and I hope that you felt inspired as well. Obviously, we're really good at inspiring ourselves.
It's going to take us the rest of the day just to put the yarn back and get out of this little corner.
Absolutely. Okay, I hope you all have a lovely week full of yarny fun, and I will see you all next Tuesday. All right, ciao.